Welcome back. The final game of the day for all the marbles. It is London Scorpions versus the Nottingham Hoods. It is really a case of the old guard versus the young blood. It is London Scorpions who's been around the block a fair few times up against the most exciting team that England Touch has to offer in the Nottingham Hoods. Joe Wright joined alongside by Ollie Holmes. Ollie, this was one that we were begging for all day and we got it. This is a game that will surely deliver at the highest standard.
You're exactly right, Joe. This is the only reason I turned up today, hoping and praying for this game to come true, and here we are.
Yeah, Liam Halpenny with the ball, ready to get us underway for the London Scorpions. 30 minutes of touch will decide who is this year's Mixed NTS overall champions. Sean O'Sullivan, Jimmy O'Donnell, back to O'Sullivan, back to O'Donnell. Lovely interplay between the two Irishmen. Jimmy O'Donnell going hard at the line, flick pass to O'Sullivan. Not quite connecting, but there's the first warning shot.
Yeah, and just a slight knock taken there as well. Not what we want to see. He's up and moving. He looks well as the Hoods get back underway.
The Nottingham Hoods will run at a furious pace and they'll maintain it all throughout the game. Ethan Gallagher platforming. Here comes Stockdale. Lovely bit of work from Isla Devlin in the transition. There is Devlin. Phoebe Simon. Sam Dixon driving, accelerating, coming over towards Simon. Backing the pace to get through the oncoming pressure. Not quite happening for on that occasion, but the Hoods won't mind it all that much. They'll go through these first few minutes, they'll find their stride, and then they'll almost certainly start to go expansive.
Yeah, there's been a few games here, hasn't there, Joe, with the first 5, 6, 7 minutes have just been scoreless, haven't they? And then all of a sudden, like you said, the floodgate is open as we see the Scorpions inviting some early pressure onto themselves.
The Nottingham Hoods with early turnover and good possession. Dixon to Simon. And here he is, the Ballon boy, Archie Devlin, always showing up when it matters. Dixon platforming, potentially choosing better of it. There's Dean, back to Dixon. Dixon diving. That is a wondrous touch to bring that one to a close. Devlin. Open side quickie for Archie Devlin, not used. Dean has to do a little bit of problem solving, tries to accelerate into the in-goal area, finding very little success at this moment in time. There's Brewer. There's McMahon and Lewis. It's a fit and firing pod for London Scorpions. Hudson with some brilliant yards. Here is Richards. There's O'Sullivan. Dom Tripp coming in and positioning and acting half. Hit Tripp. Found the bread basket of Dixon, but the basket had a hole in it. Fresh set of 6 hit for London Scorpions.
Yeah, as we see Scorpions looking to work their magic here. Tripp with the platform. And looking for the dive across the floor from Richards. Unfortunately, no score there as Scorpions give another crack at the line.
Yeah, really good touch by M. Simon. And then Hudson picking up against the grain, looking to go flat to the line, just fizzes it into the back of Dean. There's nothing doing there, 6 and change.
As we see the Hordes working their way forwards again, the heat is definitely playing a factor in today. As the play is just reversed. As we are seeing, unfortunately, just a forward pass from the Hoods there. Jack Harris calling them back to the mark of the offence.
Yeah, Dom Tripp just taking the sting out of the game for a moment, and I am very happy to say on a game that holds so much weight. We've got an accent commentator doing a little bit of analysis for us. Ben Nurse of Manchester Foxes joining us up here. Ben, this is an exciting affair.
Yeah, what a pleasure. This is the game we all wanted to see, isn't it? I heard you both commentate in the semi-final, and, you know, no offence to Galaxy and NQ, we wanted to see this shootout. We wanted to see the two teams fighting for the overall series win, and what a pleasure to commentate it with you two boys as well.
And what an occasion this is set up to be, as we saw a nice bit of interplay between Taylor Dean, Hal Penny and big Jimmy O'Donnell, who we saw, I mean, we had the pleasure of commentating that men's game where Jimmy O'Donnell found the keys to the Hoods defence more often than not. Taylor Dean with the tap restart. Halpenny. Brewer enacting half to O'Donnell. Jimmy O'Donnell, late pass away to Brewer. That's ball down. And Nottingham Hood, so far the defence has stayed strong and seen out the threat of London Scorpions. There's Gallagher with a brilliant roll ball, followed in suit by Lenori, and then the foot speed of Stockdale. And the Hoods are rolling through their transition. Dixon setting pace here. M. Simon doing the same. Big touch coming in from Halpenny. Referees were happy. Late switch away. Extra pass wanted to go from Dean. Not happening on this occasion. Ollie, it is a tasty affair. First 5 minutes have been a little bit cagey, but it's starting to come to life now.
It is starting to come to life. The fireworks are starting to pop off here. It'll be an interesting tactical battle.
There's Jimmy O'Donnell, straightens and tries to go through. He is, and he shifts through the gears, and Jimmy O'Donnell opens the scoring for London Scorpions bang on the 5-minute mark. And we've said time and time again in this series, when London Scorpions need someone to put their hands up, to be accounted for, Jimmy O'Donnell is that man. Ben, it was just a bit too big of a defensive spacing there.
Yeah, I think Dixon will be frustrated, but you said it, Joe. I mean, in that men's open final as well earlier in the season, when they need someone to step up, more often than not, it's him.
He's got the keys. He is the man of the moment so far. Speaking of, there's Archie Devlin working with Carroll. There is Owen Carroll platforming. Archie Devlin now getting down for Stockdale. Surely Merritt's gone early. And there is play on calls from the referees, and Nottingham Hoods equalise on the first time of asking. Not only is that phenomenal set-piece play, what about the IQ from Stockdale, listening to the ref and then going to execute?
Yeah, no, absolutely spot on there. You know, as an attacker, you need to be aware of what the referee's calling. I have to say the referee team today have been very good at their communication, haven't they? And, you know, Nottingham just taking advantage of that there.
Yeah, just Johnny on the spot to go and equalise. We're now locked at a try apiece. There's Brewer, Tripp and Richards. Richards has just been phenomenal all day for London Scorpions, as we see Tripp feeding away over towards Zan Hudson. Hudson platforming, Tripp picking, ripping into Harry Richards, but Stockdale stays live to the threat. Wonderful defensive work from the young Nottingham player. There's Tripp. Counties, Tripp ripping left to right. That is an absolute spear into the far corner, but it's well fended off. His defensive spacing for Nottingham Hoods absolutely perfect as of right now, and Gallagher splitting the midfield press.
Yeah, Gallagher really bringing the intensity to this final here, as are the rest of the players on the field, as Nottingham are marauding forwards.
Yeah, Lenori actually has to go backwards to sub himself off. He found himself so far up the field. There's Simon to Dixon. Dixon posturing in that link channel, back over towards Sam Dixon, getting on this link punish. Ollie Simon to Sam Dixon, extra pass goes. That is another finish in the corner. And how good is this? What a remarkable finish from Ella Loveridge. And Nottingham Hoods are absolutely flexing here. Ben, talk us through this.
I mean, you can't understate the work in the middle from Simon and Dixon, but every time Loveridge gets the ball in that position, you know she's going to score. Brilliant finish again.
It is a reliable personification from Ella Loveridge. Just hands of glue, situational awareness. No, she doesn't have a lot of time to work with. Gets that ball down. 7.5 minutes gone. 3 scores. 2 for Hood, 1 for Scorps. O'Sullivan ripping to Halpenny. Halpenny dropping a late pass off towards Taylor Dean. That one was on the bootlaces, just couldn't quite pick it up.
Just unfortunately unable to grasp that one there, and that would have brought the game back to 2-2. That being said, there is plenty of this game to go.
Yeah, brilliant work. Passing the ball through the hands with authority. Sophie Lloyd getting involved off her wing. Here is Lloyd once more. Ben Lenori platforming here for Ethan Gallagher. What can Gallagher do? Well, he can do a left foot step and create a 2-on-1, but the pass just behind the supporting player. There's another warning shot that just narrowly misses the target.
There's been a couple of warning shots fired here, and as the game warms up, it all starts to simmer, doesn't it? We see the pace of the game increasing, both sides so accurate in what they're doing here.
Merritt with good foot speed, and then Richards fizzing out. There is Lewis platforming here. Richards with the left-handed scoop comes back over towards Jared Lewis. McMahon potentially in motion. Jared Lewis picking. McMahon wasn't there. Lewis has got to come back to the short side and just leaves that one behind. A little bit of lapse of communication there, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, it's pick your poison with this attack, though. I mean, I'm in awe of this attacking set. You talk about the quality of Jimmy O'Donnell, but you can't take your eyes off Richards, off Jared Lewis, off Dom Tripp when he comes on as well.
There is an absolute depth of attacking talent on both sides of the ball. Speaking of attacking talent, there's Phoebe Simon marauding through the roll ball, and then Ollie Simon checking away towards Sam Dean. Simon's on the scoop. Ollie Simon, late switch away to Sam Dean. 2 on 1. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. Sam Dean stamps his mark. What a phenomenal design play that is from the Nottingham Hoods. Ollie Simon screaming towards Sam Dean. That's all you, son.
Ollie Simon even had time to correct the position of his hat just before pulling off this switch there. We do harp on about it, don't we, Joe? Switches, switches, switches. We love them. We love the way they cut up defences, and that has been shown there.
I mean, there was nothing on. There was absolutely nothing on. Wizardry from Ollie Simon, and what a finish from Dean. Lovely dummy.
Absolute. I mean, you've not said it. I'll say it. Filth. Absolute filth. Disgusting. Here on live stream, as Zan Hudson escapes the oncoming pressure of Owen Carroll. Hudson now platforming in front of Halpenny. Halpenny feeding away to Tripp. Tripp positioning himself in the middles. Tripp trying to go left. Dixon with a brilliant snipe. Flies off the line to make a defensive touch on Dom Tripp. However, penalty going early. 4 minutes left to go in this half. I might be overzealous to be asking for another 40 minutes of this. Dom Tripp to Brewer. Tripp stepping back against the grain, ripping long, trying to connect with Pyrgos. Pyrgos takes it in stride. But Isla Devlin, a player playing beyond her years with a defensive read and shutouts. 3-1. Brewer platforming, a little bit of miss of communication between Hudson and Tripp. Brewer platforming for the 32 platform. Halpenny back to Brewer. Brewer with the right foot step, tries to escape the oncoming pressure, and every single touch that Hoods make celebrated like a score in this sub-box.
And that is exactly what we like to see. You know, this game isn't just about the attacking side, is it, Ben? It's all about the defensive pressure you can apply.
Yeah, and you mentioned Ethan Gallagher before, Joe. He's a perfect example of someone who just chews you up, but he does something good, when he forces an error. The intensity he shows is amazing to see.
And what I love about this Hoods team is that, yes, they take pride in their attacking work, but that doesn't come as a compromise to their defensive work. It is furious as we see a wonderful fifth touch platform here. Gallagher ripping long, trying to connect with the wing. Maybe ball should have gone through the hands on that occasion, but they won't mind the read. 2.5 minutes to go in this first half. Ben, this has been played at a furious pace.
Yeah, and it's hard to understate how much touch has been played today. It's their 5th game of the day. The second 2 played 30 minutes long in this intense heat. It's amazing to see such intensity.
You're absolutely right there, Ben. The heat, it is scorching, isn't it? We are stood on some scaffolders. Unfortunately, we see a ball down, and Gallagher taking no time to rest, straight back to it.
However, the referees have spotted something that they're not happy with, so it's coming all the way back. I believe the hand signal was a forward pass, but we'll just wait for the referee's whistle. It was indeed forward pass, so the Hoods surrender possession to Jimmy O'Donnell, Sean O'Sullivan, Harry Richards and Mimi Taylor-Dean. That is not for people you want to be doing that to. O'Sullivan getting out into the link channel. Dixon with a flick touch. O'Sullivan, Richards, O'Donnell in motion. There is Jimmy O'Donnell. Late pass away to Taylor-Dean. And when you're hot, you're hot. Jimmy O'Donnell with the keys to the Hoods defence.
Jimmy O'Donnell again. It's that Irish connection, isn't it, Joe? You know, it's hard to stop these guys. They almost know what they're doing without asking the other person what's going on. And it should not be understated. That is a superb hole to cut straight through the Nottingham defence.
It's been on a few times as well. We saw Halpenny try and run the same play, and it just didn't stick to the hands on that occasion. But he's made that read. Fair play.
And you speak about players being, world class in their positions. Mimi Taylor-Dean's one of those. Whole crashing link. It is perfect. As we see Stockdale in motion. Skip pass over towards Simon. There's a lovely bit of disguise. We saw them run that at the men's in Coventry, where Stockdale wraps round. They skip pass over towards Rory Hawkins, who isn't here today in the Hoods. Stockdale, doggy's platform here. Carroll takes 2 bites of the cherry and comes up with nothing. With a minute left to go on the clock, the Hoods will be looking to just go in ahead, consolidate your first half performance with a good half-time team talk, and go into the second half firing. And for the Scorps, mission 1, get parity on the scoreboard.
You're right there, Joe. It's all about those tactical tweaks, isn't it, at half-time? Now, we are privy to information over here from the Hoods box. We do have our ears open as we see Scorps looking to bring the game even before half-time.
Oh, the best platform so far for London Scorpions. But Stockdale couldn't help himself but have a dabble. Brings up a fresh head of 6. 45 seconds remain in this first half. There is an almighty defensive set in need of for Nottingham Hoods. Tripp finding himself in the link channel. Archie Devlin been trapped in defence as of right now, but staying true to his task, making things work. O'Sullivan. Tripp. Doggy's platform here. O'Sullivan back to Dom Tripp, but Dom Tripp just dives at the line. How good is that from the man himself, the big number 5, Dom Tripp?
You're absolutely spot on there. He's tripped the electrics, all the lights have turned off, and he's snuck in while it's dark. Dom Tripp, thank you very much, sir. That was absolutely superb through the middle.
And that will bring up half-time. There'll be no more touch played here in this first 15 minutes, and probably rightly so. We go in all square, 3 tries apiece. Hoods and Scorpions neck and neck, as they have been all season. Ben, there is nothing to separate these two.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what we've seen in that first half, they are so even, these two teams. And what we're seeing is a real nice clash of styles. We've got the Hoods who go all intensity, all in your face, direct, driving hard, whereas the Scorps are a bit more structured and they play well off that.
Yeah, it's all gas, no brakes for the Nottingham Hoods, whereas I'll pick your brains a little bit here, Ollie. We saw moments of magic from the Nottingham Hoods. They, namely amongst them, that score from Sam Dean, that lovely little late switch off Ollie Simon. What do you think that this Nottingham Hoods sub-box conversation is going to be? And Ben, you have a think, so I'm going to be asking you the same thing for London Scorpions in a moment.
If you give me 30 seconds to listen, Joe, I'll come back to you. No. As we see them coming into the shade here, I just think they'll reinforce their use of all the players on the pitch. They're all a threat on the line, and for me, that's really, really difficult to defend against. Ben rightly said then Scorpions so structured, so rigid, but they can play off the cuff again. It's one of those, who do you mark, when do you go, when do you stay? I'd like to see the Hoods now. They've saved that Redlands, haven't they? And we will be seeing that in the second half. I would put all my money on it.
That's an interesting point, because in the game earlier on live stream, we saw them use it 3 times in 20 minutes, and that extra little pass through the hands, fixing the wing. It's a lovely little variation of play that we love so much. We will see if they do dive deep into their bag of tricks in the remaining 15 minutes. And for Ben, what do you think that sub-box for Scorpions is looking like?
I think from a Hoods point of view, they've won the midfield battle. I think where Scorps have found a foothold in this game is from the Hoods errors. If the Hoods completely cut out those errors on the opposition line and on their own line, I think they should cruise to a victory. For Scorpions now, they need to reach deep into their bag. They've run variations of similar plays all day and have not got a lot of joy off some of them. I think they need to reach deep into that bag that they've been training all year long and try and find something the Hoods won't be expecting.
And I think as well, from a Scorpions perspective, potentially those interpersonal connections not really coming to the forefront as of right now. Nottingham Hoods with a deeper squad compared to London Scorpions, so maybe a little bit of mismatching happening between the pods. I know, from our time covering the Nationals, the likes of Dom Tripp and Sean O'Sullivan building that really nice connection from Lincoln Middle. Not quite seeing those two share the pitch too often. And for me, I think players like Sean O'Sullivan really get the best out of Dom Tripp.
Yeah, I mean, he's scored a try and he's looked very good in this game, but I'll make the point, how many times have you seen Scorpions play or South East Sharks play and Tripp hasn't really been in the game, and he's waited for his moment, he's made the reads from the sub-box, and he's made the scores that counted at the end of the game when he knows what play to run and how to execute.
And Ollie, speaking on the sort of wider repercussions of this game, the winner of this will take the overall championship title. For me, Nottingham Hoods started the brightest. They came out of the blocks firing, they set a furious pace, just found their defensive spacing a little bit too open. Is there either team that's really taking your fancy? I know you went brave quite early in round 1, saying that Hoods were going to go it. Are you still in that camp?
I'm not cashing in my chips just yet, Joe. I do see the Hoods winning this. I did say at the start of round one, it'd be really difficult to see past them. I think Scorps, like you said, it's the old guard, you know, they won't be happy with the noisy neighbours from the other end of the country coming and spoiling the party they've had over the last few years. But for me, as I said, Joe, I do see a Hoods win. I would like to see a drop off.
Yeah.
Dare we say that word? We have 15 minutes of quality touch ahead of us before we start thinking about that.
I think probably the most apt conclusion to what has been, to my mind, the most tightly contested mixed series we've ever had here in the UK. The Nottingham Hoods have gone blow for blow with London Scorpions. This has the feeling of two heavyweights that are going all out for the championship. We are locked at 3 scores apiece. London Scorpions, Nottingham Hoods, neck and neck. Out on the pitch for the Hoods, Gallagher, Lenore, Dixon, Simon. For the Scorps, Tripp, O'Sullivan, Richards and Merritt. Dangerous propositions for both sides, and what's lovely, this game played at a furious level of competitiveness, but also with a bit of gamesmanship there, the Hoods and the Scorpions sharing a few jokes and a few laughs and a few smiles, but all of that goes out of the window now. We're off underway in the second half. Ethan Gallagher and Lenore operating in the middles. Dixon now in at link, coming to get involved. Lenore to Gallagher. Taking the settler, third touch, forthcoming, needs to get this done, bang on the 7, checking away towards Sam Dixon. Dixon back to Gallagher. Gallagher repositioning in front of Lenore. Lenore with a less than forgiving pass for Sam Dixon, who with a blind pass away was able to manufacture a potential scoring opportunity. That one just goes to the floor. There's the first warning shot that narrowly misses the mark.
Exactly that, and that'll be the first and only warning that Notts give them here. This game is starting to ramp up now. All the players will be looking to empty the tanks as we see the Scorpions early on in this half inviting pressure onto themselves.
That's so unscorps-like, to coin a new term. You know, usually they're so composed with the ball, so structured, you can never force an error out of them. I think they just panicked there and they didn't need to.
I think it's a symptom of the Hoods' pressure.
Absolutely.
As Devlin joins the fray. This is a dangerous pod, Archie Devlin. Ethan Gallagher and Sam Dixon all trying to make something happen, but if there's one player who will not bend an inch in defence, it's Sean O'Sullivan. Takes pride in the stubborn work that he delivers consistently. Gallagher in motion, Devlin platforming, Dixon to Gallagher, looking to go back towards Dixon, potentially looking for that skip pass over towards Archie Devlin, who I think just makes the point of Merritt's crashing. I mean, acres of space. We've got the opportunities, we've got the hands, we've got the skills to go and execute. Devlin, Gallagher, steadying the ship for a moment, splits a platform here for Dixon. Dixon with a lofted pass over towards Simon, but Tripp recovers oh so well. Defensive spacings for Scorpions, absolutely perfect. Dixon, Devlin, lovely bit of interplay. Here is Sam Dixon, dummying, ripping long, connecting potentially. Can't quite find Sophie Lloyd, but they'll back themselves to put on a bit of pressure in their defence.
No, you're completely right there, Joe. And I like to see Nottingham just go through the phases there. Dixon, you know, Dixon and co, they're all absolutely lethal in the middle of the field as we see Scorps allowed to relieve some of this pressure here.
It's a dangerous proposition here. London Scorpions with a little away set, just buying some extra meters, and then Dom Tripp purrs through the gears, setting brilliant expectations. Taylor Dean follows in suit. There's Jared Lewis. Brilliant hands-on offer from Hal Penny. Hal Penny now positioning himself in an acting half, scooping, driving at the Hoods' defence, but it's well defended from Ethan Gallagher.
Exactly that. You are my wonder wall, Gallagher. You're putting the pressure on. You're not allowing them to get a single inch around you.
There's Devlin feeding over towards Simon. That's really good foot speed through the roll ball from Archie Devlin. Here is Phoebe Simon, just flies through. However, a ball down turnover for London Scorpions. That's less than classic from the Nottingham Hoods.
As we see the Scorps working their way forwards here. You're right, again, uncharacteristic. Ben coined a new term, didn't he? Unscorps-like. That was Notts-like.
Yeah, unhoods-like. Is Hal Penny, Lewis, and McMahon. McMahon platforming. Lewis gets in an acting half dummy and coming back over against the grain, connecting with Jared Lewis. Is that ball down? It is. And the Scorps draw first blood in this second half. That was a wonderfully designed play. Little Sweeper, pick up from half, coming back against the grain. Lewis almost sending our cameraman.
Absolutely superb, Joe. Again, just recognising that space on the short side here. Nottingham are very good at protecting the open side. Now, it'd be interesting to see if Scorps continue to apply the pressure down that short side, or they change their plan back to the open.
Yeah, Stockdale wants this link punish, gets it back from Archie Devlin. Stockdale driving. It's really well recovered on that far side. Merritt making good defensive decisions. Devlin just looking to spread the play, comes over towards Simon. Carroll looking to release that left to right pill, and then does connect. And oh my word, Owen Carroll comes up with a moment of magic for the Nottingham Hoods.
I mean, you talk about going into your bag and reading a defence. They hit the link hole on the earlier play and found joy with that, and then they knew the winger would crash in to stop that pass. And he's got a 40-metre pass on his left hand to pull out of the bag. Unreal.
Absolutely ruthless stuff from the Nottingham Hoods. Ella Lovebridge with a brilliant finish to get over. We're back all square. Ollie said the word, I won't repeat it, but it feels like we're heading that way as we see forward pass penalty turnover.
And would you see that as the fairest conclusion here if we were to see the forbidden word?
That shall not be named. Oh, Tripp picks it off. Diving touch from Ben Lenori brings him to a grinding halt. A little bit of overplaying for the Nottingham Hoods. Then Tripp with a ball hawk in midfield says, give me that. Halpenny, O'Sullivan, Tripp and Hudson. This is terrifying stuff here for the Hoods. However, Sam Dixon taking a leaf out of the Tripp playbook, sniping in at link, making good defensive decisions. O'Sullivan to Tripp, back to O'Sullivan. Halpenny now in motion. There is Halpenny, back to Tripp, Tripp to O'Sullivan. Skip past potentially the option. Salmon makes a very good defensive read to bring that one to a close. And that ball almost finds the deck as Tripp rips a speculative one into that far channel. Ben, Hoods are doing a really good job at restricting this London Scorpions attack. They're having to work really hard for their attacking platforms.
And what's obvious to see is the massive experience gap between these two teams on paper is not showing on the pitch. Such a mature performance from these Nottingham Hoods.
Yeah, I think that's really well put, because on paper you do look at like the amount of international caps that these two teams have, and obviously Scorps boast the greater amount of international playing experience at the Opens level. However, we're just not seeing that as we see Archie Devlin go into his bag, bouncing away from one, and then two, and then three, and then getting into Stockdale. Stockdale wants this open side quickie, does get it back. Instead they go over to Simon, and Simon finishes. And Archie Devlin has pulled strings from the halfway line to the 7. It's finished expertly by Phoebe Simon, but the Ballon Boy living up to his namesake.
Exactly that, the Ballon Boy has done it again. When will he stop? An absolutely superb read to pass across the front of the defending Scorps link, and that hole was wide open there, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, she scored that on Dom Tripp, so it was no slouch, but that is unreal from Archie Devlin. Talk about taking the game by the scruff of the neck and saying, right, I'm standing up and I'm making a difference here.
Yeah, he's got that in abundance. Brewer positioning, feeding away towards Lewis. Brewer feeding now to Jimmy O'Donnell, late pass away. But now the defensive work from Nottingham Hoods coming to the forefront. Jimmy O'Donnell with a lovely bit of invention to try and unlock the defence. Nothing doing on this occasion. It's go again time for Brewer, O'Donnell and Lewis. Brewer, O'Donnell, back to Brewer, trying to drive hard at the line. Ethan Gallagher with a good defensive touch, putting everything on the line. And Brewer, not happy, looking to reset and go again. Here is Lewis. Jimmy O'Donnell in motion. Jimmy O'Donnell dummied. Brewer coming back against the grain. This time does escape away. And then the ball is almost down, if not for an absolutely world-class touch from M. Simon, who doesn't buy anything. However, the referee's siding with London Scorpions. You can hear what the crowd make of it from a Scorpions perspective. Absolute money, Ben.
I mean, it looked like the touch was in my opinion, Joe. Brewer's done really well. I thought the Hoods stood up defensively.
It's a marginal call, Ollie. I'm going to ask you to put on your yellow shirt for a moment. What do you make of it?
It's a tricky one, you know, when you're seeing it in live time, even that close. It's a game of fine margin. Seeing milliseconds difference is tricky as a referee. So all credit to the team here. I probably would have given that score there.
Yeah, and we always want the referees to err on the side of the attacking players, and that's exactly what we've seen here. Phoebe Simon dummying, getting into the goal area. Phoebe Simon, and then ripped. How good is that from Phoebe Simon? and the Hood sub box erupts, and Phoebe Simon reminding us not to forget about her attacking chops. Look at this, dummying, sends Harry Richards to the shop and then rips a lovely left-handed long ball. And when you think you've marked up all of the attacking talent for Nottingham Hoods, Phoebe Simon says, no thank you, let me just destroy that defensive line.
Richards will be jogging all the way home. He's been sent that far. That is an absolutely ridiculous dummy. I think all of us would have bought that one.
Yeah, I think the cameraman also got sent to the shop for a moment there as Halpenny ripping open side to Lewis. Lewis with the left footstep accelerating over. And now we're in for a little bit of a shootout. 6 minutes left to go. 6 tries apiece. Ben, this is absolutely magic.
I mean, you said it, mate. It's a shootout now. This is what we wanted this game to turn into, I'll be honest. It was a low-scoring first half. This is what we wanted to see. 2 teams just going at each other.
And this, you are right, Ben, that is exactly what we wanted to see. The floodgates have opened as we find ourselves 5 minutes from the end of the game. Which team can make the final massive blow and win the championship?
Yeah, this is poised on a knife edge. This is, you literally could not write it. 2 teams that have gone blow for blow all season, now going blow for blow in the grand final, the big dance, as Ethan Gallagher looks to rip long. Only finding Pyrgos, who stood in a very smart area over on this near side wing.
I like that from Pyrgos. Get yourself in the way, pop your hands up and say, no sir, I didn't interrupt. The ball was going to the floor. As we see Scorps again, just starting to build momentum down their box side.
Yeah, really good tone setter there from Mimi Taylor-Dean. And then rolling up over to halfway was Merritt. Here's Halpenny. There's Richards. Back in towards Halpenny. Richards scooping, trying to take Ben Lenori for a walk, not bought, but the late pass goes to Halpenny, and then McMahon finds himself in so much space, and Gus McMahon finishes, and Scorps edge their way back into the lead. That was really well designed from the Scorps, playing a little bit heads up off the back of some nice attacking platform, and McMahon finishes.
Really well worked, just a little nibble from the Nottingham Hoods middle there, and that's what created that overlap. All credit to Scorps recognising that there and taking the opportunity as it arises.
Dean and Simon and Stockdale will be looking to bring themselves back all level, and you'd be a braver man than me to say that they will not. Stockdale. Simon had a couple grabs at it, now takes the ball down. There is Ollie Simon trying to drive hard at the line, instead just rips long. Potentially an opportunity to just go through the hands. What you're seeing now from a defensive perspective, Ben, Pyrgos is just going man on man with Lloyd.
Yeah, it's a really interesting development in English touch, really. Defensively, we used to see the winger be left open as it was perceived to be the hardest pass. But now what we're seeing is wingers sticking to their wingers as the link hole is the hardest pass, as we've seen. And the link hole for Scorps has been open all day. It's just a much harder pass to hit for these players on the pitch than the wing pass.
Yeah, less time available, which means your pass has got to be on the money. Hudson. Gribben comes in off her wing. Nice fly option here from Halpenny. Platforming here for Dom Tripp. Dom Tripp ripping long, finding the wing, but it's well shut down again by Loveridge. I mean, we've sung her praises all day, Ollie. She's been phenomenal in this final.
You're absolutely spot on there, Joe. We bang on about world-class wingers, don't we? She's been absolutely phenomenal today. Hasn't stepped a foot wrong during any of the games we've had here on Field One.
Absolutely not, and I wonder if we're going to see Nottingham Hoods potentially go into their Redlands back. This lovely variation that they've got. Carroll platforming for Dixon. Dixon, left foot, right foot, beating one. Devlin tries to throw the extra pass, and that's going to be given 6 more. Tripp's not happy about it, neither are the Scorps. But for the Hoods, this is premier position to bring parity back to the scoreboard. 2 minutes remain. This is as close to the wire as it could possibly be. Carroll, Devlin, Dixon. Devlin, left foot, platforming here for Dixon. Back to Carroll. Carroll diving. Referee's happy with the touch. You've got the Nottingham Mavericks down in that far end trying to suck the ball over the line for their club mates, the Hoods. Dixon, Carroll, Simon and Devlin. There's Carroll platforming for Devlin. Dixon looking to go long, drops a late pass over towards Archie Devlin. The referees are not happy. They've spotted an infringement, and that'll be penalty turnover.
Not too certain what the hand signal was there, and unfortunately the board has taken a little tickle away from the Scorpions players, just winding that clock down by a few seconds.
Brewer platforming here. You can hear Dom Tripp barking orders at his teammates. Hal Penny wanted to throw the extra pass, nothing doing. Gets away with a little bit of a skew whiff roll ball. Referee's happy with the quality of that one. Richards coming over now in front of O'Donnell. Jimmy O'Donnell, right-handed scoop, accelerates through, tries to take Devlin for a walk. Archie Devlin with a masterful defensive intervention. 90 seconds left on the clock. This is do or die time for the Hoods. I wonder if we're going to see this little Redlands play. Stockdale was having a dabble at it for a moment, but the Scorpions mark it up well. Gallagher takes 2 bites of the cherry, comes up with the ball. This is nervy times now. Ethan Gallagher, Lenori platforming here for Gallagher, left-handed scoop. Back to Lenori. Lenori with the extra pass away. That is absolute magic. However, the referees called touch first. 6 and change. 45 seconds remain. The Hoods find themselves a score down. The Scorpions have just got to secure possession and they'll take the championship. O'Donnell, the roll ball. McMahon going up the box side. Gribben. A nice bit of work to Mimi Taylor-Dean. Here is Gribben again. Jared Lewis. Sean O'Sullivan. Tripp coming on. Right-handed scoop. 2 bites to it. No issue at all. Lovely long rip and maybe a little bit of gamesmanship, making sure that one goes into the stands. This is do or die time now. We have less than 10 seconds remaining. Referees wanting the ball to be rolled on the mark. Stockdale and Gallagher have got to come up with a moment of magic for the Hoods. Simon platforming. There is Stockdale. Gallagher with one last opportunity. This is the final play of the game. Ethan Gallagher trying to create a moment of magic. That's a speculative pass, and the London Scorpions will take the overall championship. Round 3 winners, overall winners. Ollie, how good was that game?
Absolutely marvellous. That is 30 minutes of end-to-end touch rugby. In the second half, the floodgates open. We started to have your favourite word, Joe, a shootout, and that is exactly what we wanted this game to be. All credit and kudos to the London Scorpions side. My prediction on the Hoods winning was incorrect. However, they've given a really good showing of themselves today, haven't they?
Yeah, completely agree. And Ben, just a quick word on the Nottingham Hoods. For me, maybe the most terrifying prospect in England touch. There is a potential dynasty on offer for this Hoods team that for me has an average age of about 18, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, full congratulations to London Scorpions. Absolutely unreal from them. But shout out to both teams. A brilliant series, a brilliant game we've seen there, which really went down to the wire. So yeah, shout out to both teams. Unreal game of touch we just watched there.
Yeah, Scorpions celebrating as they should do, spearheaded by some remarkable touch. Jimmy O'Donnell, and this London Scorpions side is so rich with pure talent. One name that maybe doesn't get the right amount of compliments and plaudits is Liam Halpenny, who is such a dynamic ball player. He's one of these guys that just stitches together the London Scorpions with ruthless efficiency. Ollie, he was phenomenal in that final.
You're absolutely right, Joe. It's really tricky to play against a player that almost looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, and that is not the case, is it? He's got a game plan. He knows where the space is. As you said, Hoods, as disappointed as they will be now, they've got a chance to create a dynasty over the next few years.
Ben, just how valuable are games like this for a young side like Nottingham Hoods? They're coming up against, the who's who of open touch in London Scorpions, and they're narrowly coming out on the wrong end of things. But they'll come back next season bigger and better.
Yeah, I mean, the phrase goes, you win or you learn, and Hoods will learn a lot from that game. They'll watch it back and they'll know exactly what they need to do to beat that Scorpions team. And we mentioned the experience gap before. For them to be in this position, going toe-to-toe with these seasoned international players, it's really admirable, and you've got to take your hats off to them.
And then just a wider word on the state of touch at the moment in England. For me, being able to cover touch for the past 4 years, every single series goes from strength to strength. The standard gets better, the quality is deeper, the difference between Division 1 and Division 2 is so narrow, the difference between Division 2 and Division 3 is narrow, the difference between Division 3 and Division 4 is so narrow. Ollie, touch in England is going strength to strength in an effort to bridge the gap between England and Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, my word of warning here for any Kiwis or Australians listening, we are coming for you. England touch has the ball rolling, it's getting bigger and bigger, it's snowballing through. This next World Cup, England will be a team to watch.
It's certainly so, and It's a wonderful prospect, the state of touch in the UK at the moment. Ben, a final word on today as a whole. A tournament played in blistering heat, but the standard didn't drop. It was one of the most entertaining days of touch, for my mind, in recent memory.
Yeah, I'll take some authority on that as well, Joe, because I actually played today. I was on the pitch with some of these guys and girls, and the quality has been unreal. As someone who's played touch for a few years and is now playing against people that are a lot younger and people that are a lot more experienced, it goes without saying that the quality of touch here on this pitch and in this country in general has skyrocketed. And it is really good to see, and when you come here on a day like this and you come here with hundreds of players who are all playing at the top of their game, it is really something to see.
I completely agree. But that is it for us here. Club touch has come to a conclusion. London Scorpions, overall champions. From all of us here at Next Gen, this isn't the end of touch. We have got Euros, Junior Nationals, the rescheduled National Schools final in touch in September. Do not go anywhere. There is more touch coming your way. I've been Joe Wright, joined alongside by Matthew Chapman, Oliver Holmes and Ben Nurse, and from all of us here at Next Gen in England Touch, until next time, this is goodbye.
I thought Gallagher, you're my Wonderwall was behaving. You had that in the back. That was the one.